Hello everyone, Bob here. I'm in my backyard. It's March. It went up to 16 degrees Celsius today. Of course, it's going to be 1 tomorrow and snow. That's why I'm out here. Been sitting out here for about an hour, dreaming about my vegetable garden. And welcome, by the way, to 10 nutrient-dense foods. Well, yes, today we're going to talk about healthy eating. And since I've been on the planet for around 28,000 days, you heard it, 28,000 days, and I've most of the time had at least 3 meals a day, and I've traveled all over the world, visiting many different very unique places and eating their food, I think you can say I'm an expert on healthy eating. Now, I might not always eat healthy. Like a few minutes ago, my wife was feeding me chocolates from the local candy store and I was eating it. But I want to talk to you about 14 nutrient-dense foods. That simply means that these foods are high in fiber, which you need to be healthy, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. So let's get started. We'll make this into a little game. I'll tell you about the food, then I'll wait a few seconds to see if you can guess what it is, and then I'll move on to the next one. But if I was you, I'd make a list. So maybe get a piece of paper and something to write with, and as we go through the 14 healthiest foods, according to me, Bob, you can have that list on your fridge, and whenever you're not feeling up to snuff or you're getting some kind of a germ, or maybe a virus or a bacterial infection, or maybe even a disease if you're lucky, you can start to eat these foods. But I don't think I'd wait that long. Anyway, let's get started. Here we go. The first food is a dark green leafy vegetable. It is rich in 2 nutrients, lutein, Lutein, and beta carotene, which will, according to the experts, reduce your risks of some cancers. And it's high in vitamin K. And I like to cook it by simply steaming it and eating it with maybe a little apple cider vinegar squirted on it. So what do you think? That's number 1. Number 2 is also a vegetable. It's high in antioxidants like beta carotene too. It can reduce, according to the specialists, your risk of colorectal cancer. That sounds delightful, right? And lung cancer, just in case you're a smoker. You might want to eat this vegetable. I just remember the days when, many years ago, my brother and I used to help my father in the vegetable garden, and we grew a lot of these. They were a pain to grow, I'll tell you. They took all summer and into the fall before we could harvest them. They were orange, but boy, they were good. We used to pull them out, John and I, and wipe the dirt off on our pants and just eat them the way they were, raw. You only have to eat maybe 3 or 4 or 5 a week to get the benefits. You know what it is. Very delicious and crunchy too. Food number 3. Well, the Mayo Clinic produced a list of the 10 healthiest foods, at least in North America. And this food made the list when I first saw the list about 30 years ago, and it's still on the list. So if you look up the Mayo Clinic's favorite, best, healthiest foods on the planet, you'll see this one still on the list. And it's in most grocery stores. It's green. You can eat the whole plant. It's also got it's a cruciferous vegetable, which means it's got a certain antioxidant in it, again, that fights cancer. Not that any of us would have cancer, but over the years I've been studying diseases and stuff, and cancer's on the rise. But anyway, back to this vegetable. It's delicious if you just steam it. It doesn't take long either. Just sort of wash it a little bit, cut it up a little bit, throw it in a steamer, like some water, and boil the water for a few minutes and then eat it. But don't overcook it, because it gets kind of mushy. And you can add it to almost anything. Okay? You got it? It's green. Kind of looks like a tree. Food number 4 has a very distinct taste. People add it to all kinds of things: salad dressing, meat, potatoes, for a flavor that you can't miss. You don't want to put too much in, though, because if you start breathing on your friends after you've eaten, they might back up from you. And it comes in like a little bulb, and you take little pieces of this bulb apart, and you take the outer layer skin off of it like an onion. It's not an onion. And then you hit it with a mallet or a knife, and the juices are turned loose on your food. Or you can throw the whole thing or cut it up in little pieces. But it's very tasty. And some people believe that it's so powerful for heart health, and so powerful for your digestive system and all kinds of things, that they take it in a powder form too. Not only do they eat it daily, but they take it in a powder form, a capsule. So it's got quite a smell to it if you breathe on somebody after you've eaten it. You know what it is. Food number 5, or vegetable number 5. Maybe you've caught on. These are all vegetables. Anyway, this one is cruciferous too, which means it has nutrients in it that are going to provide your cells, the cells inside your body, with a lot of health and a lot of strength. It's like a cell managing food. Anyway, it's green, and you can buy them, and they're about this big, and they look like a cabbage, but they're not, because cabbages are this big. And you might pay, I don't know, $3 a pound, depending on where you're buying them. Sometimes they go on special, but they're great for bowel health too, and for your sugar, managing your sugar levels in your body. So I would suggest you eat these at least once a week. You can cook them in a little olive oil, add a little garlic to it, and maybe a little dash of some wine, and you'll be in heaven. People will be coming back to your house for dinner, I'll tell you, if you serve this food. Vegetable number 6. Well, I had a little vegetable garden in my backyard for the last couple of years, and a lot of the vegetables, like my tomatoes, maybe my carrots, didn't grow very well. But this one did. This one was so easy to grow. I just sprinkled the seeds in my soil, even though I have a lot of shade in my backyard at times. It grew like no tomorrow. I was so proud of this vegetable. And what I did was I took it in the house. It's a leafy vegetable too. It's green. It's not lettuce. And I took it into the house and washed it, and got the water off of it and bagged it and froze it, and it keeps great. And I can add it to smoothies. By the way, it's got a lot of vitamin A in it, a lot of vitamin B in it, a lot of vitamin C in it, a lot of vitamin K in it, and it's great for regulating your blood sugar too, just in case you don't want to get that dreaded, diabetes. Yes, that's when your blood sugar goes crazy, right? And the insulin and all that. This will help. At least the experts say so. Oh, and by the way, you can just take it and sprinkle a little olive oil over it, not much, and put it in the oven and bake it and make chips out of it. That's it. It's that simple. Vegetable number 7, riboflavin, niacin, folate, vitamin A and C and K. It's a starchy vegetable. It's green. It's small. It grows in pods. Whenever I'm traveling up to the lake in the summertime, maybe August, and I stop at one of those vegetable fruit stands along the highway in Mennonite country, where those are the people that know how to grow their vegetables organically. Anyway, I buy a little quart basket or maybe a 6-quart basket of these, and I eat along the way as I'm driving to the beach. I eat these things, and you know what? They've got protein in them. They're high in carbs. The starchier the vegetable, the more carbs. That means there's a lot of sugar. It's good sugar, but there's a lot of sugar in this vegetable. So you got to watch if you eat too much of this. You don't want the blood sugar stuff in your body to get too high, because then you'll get into that diabetes problem. But I mean, sometimes you can't help eating handfuls of this vegetable because it's so delicious and so good for you. And digestive health, high in fiber, you gotta love them. Vegetable number 8. This green or purple vegetable is easy to grow. It just requires a little bit of steaming to eat it, and it doesn't take long, and it's loaded with antioxidants and compounds like flavonoids. But the best part is that it'll help anything that you've damaged in your body with your type 2 diabetes. Yes, it will. You know what it is, and it's delicious. Vegetable number 9. Well, it has nitrates in it, but when you eat this purple vegetable, your body converts the nitrates to nitric acid, which dilates your blood vessels. So it's great for blood pressure. I love making borscht out of this vegetable because I'm Ukrainian. I even eat the leaves out of this root vegetable. So I dig the ground up, I dig the vegetable out. Remember, it's purple. It's not a potato. And I make beet soup out of it, and I use the leaves too. Wow, you're gonna love it. Vegetable number 10. Well, it's green. It's maybe the shape of a pencil. You can grow it here in southern Ontario where I live, and I'm sure in other places that are warm, like Mexico. I was at the grocery store the other day. Remember, this is early March, and I saw it. A package of these, maybe about 8 or 9 in a clump, costs $7. I think that has something to do with COVID and trying to get products from warmer climates into Ontario, Canada here, but in the wintertime. But you can grow it in the summer. There's a farm not far from Cambridge where I live that grows this. It's an early summer vegetable. It's full of antioxidants. It's good for fiber. It's yummy. Just put a little olive oil on it, or maybe some basil, B-E-C-E-L, basil margarine, which is it used to be margarine wasn't good for you, high in saturated fat, but now they make margarine with plants such as vegetables. And anyway, it's yummy. You can steam it. It's cooked in seconds. You can eat it raw. Sometimes you have to snap this pencil-shaped vegetable, snap it and get the hard, pulpy part at the bottom off and throw that away. Otherwise, it's yummy. And they say it protects your kidneys and your liver. It's not liver, you know, the organ in your body that fights toxins in your kidneys. It keeps them healthy. I would bet you know what it is. Well, I hope you got all 10 correct. Anyway, was it fun? Did you learn anything? Healthy eating, everyone. Yep, that's where I throw my vegetable scraps in the wintertime, because underneath that snow, that's where I plant my veggies. Well, you might think I can't count, but there was only 10 foods, even though I said 14.